Back, hopefully. Thanks so much for waiting. I saw some of you guys actually did crazy. Run 4 Foundry and 3 Sword. The Thopter Sword version is nice because it gets around, and not only is it a win condition, it's a way that lets you gain life that progresses the plan that the deck is trying to do. I hope Kyrie's deck is still in my Magic Online. We're going to find out. So I called it deck for Kyrie. It's just going to be under D for deck. Oh. Well done, Magic Online. I'm always ridiculing it, but here it did what we wanted it to. Although now our sideboard's like screwed. Hold up. These are all just ideas. Okay. So, yeah, so if we run Commune, we could theoretically slim one weirding, perhaps, depending on how many of these we run. Okay, the idea I like where they lock my opponent from doing anything and I watch as they slowly bleed. Yeah, I mean, Ascension, you know, or that one card they suggest, what was it, Faith of the Devoted? I mean, I hate to say it, Faith kind of does what you want, Kyrie, without being as difficult to turn on as Ascension. We just have to pay a mana. So this is whenever we cycle or discard, which, I mean, we're doing a lot of. We're like a Liliana Raven's Crime Smallpox Brutality deck. If you do, you can pay 1. So for the low price of 2 mana, when paired with Raven's Crime and a Dredge spell and this on the table, you get to do, they lose 2 life, we gain 2 life, which is what Ascension does. But, also wait, if they're not drawing cards anymore, wait, does the Ascension still trigger? This says whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, wait, this isn't, wait a minute. Not that I'm trying to, like, I know it's your pet card, I'm not trying to diss it, but, like, wait a minute, does this not work? Have we been, like, overstating this the whole time? Let me read this one more time. Whenever a card's put into a graveyard, oh, otherwise put it into the graveyard, never mind, it does work. Okay, we're good, we're good. It's like 6 in the morning for me, guys, forgive me. Faith just seems worse than the Siphon Life. It is, because Siphon Life is something we can dredge over and start using. I'm always up for seeing somebody playing Blood Chief. Yeah, it does work, Kyrie. You're right. Maybe go down to just 2 Smallpox. Okay. Do we want something more flexible in that spot? I mean, we still need more lands. So 2 Urborgs. Oh, Kyrie, you didn't answer my question because I had to take the stream down to reset the mic and everything. What of this 55 and 14 do you not own? Are there budget considerations? How should we continue moving forward with your brew? I think once I finish your brew, man, I'm going to go to bed. Or at least give you a good starting point. I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, I think 2 Smallpox is fine. I like the idea of the card a lot, but yeah, I kind of need to know if the card isn't over 15, you're good? Okay. Well, I don't want you to buy into something that like is untested, though. Like, ideally, I could also maybe schedule this coming Thursday. I actually get your deck, and I play it a bit and make sure that it works before you buy into it. Yeah, most of the lands... Well, what? No, don't say most. Which lands are you missing? Can you be more specific? Do you have a polluted delta? Could we use a different fetch? Just needs to be a black fetch because we just have swamp as the primary. No abrupt decays. We'll probably have some abrupt decays. Burrito hero. Mr. Burrito, I mean. That's Mr. Burrito to you. Yeah, sorry, friend. Somebody said if I wanted a needle effect, it should be Spyglass in the main. I mean, this isn't Legacy, so I don't know if we want these cards in the main. I mean, I think Legacy's or Modern's changing, so like Needle or Spyglass could be viable. All right, Ophidian says -3 crime, minus a blast, minus a brown skull, minus a crucible, minus a loam, minus the ascension. Add foundries and swords and bridge and a spell bomb. I like the idea of Spell Bomb. Or Spyglass instead of Bomb due to Jaces. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we want this deck, if we want this main boarded, this kind of an effect for opposing Jaces, yeah. I like the idea of a main board glass. Alright. Buried Ruin, Dakmor Salvage, Ghost Court, Academy Ruins, Dark Slick, Shores. How much is Dark Slick in paper? I don't know if you need Dark Slicks. I put them in there because I have them. I don't think you need the Dark Slick Shore. Wait, we're going back to the... Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I don't think you need these. Let's try to build your mana base more cheaper for your wallet. More cheaply. What fetches do you have, Kyrie? Do you have more green or black fetches? I know you said you had 3 Verdant Catacombs. What do you have? Deltas? What green and black fetches do you have? You can use River of Tears. Would River let us cast Weirding on time, though? I don't think it would. That's my problem with Weirding. Exclamation mark price. Drowned Catacombs would work. Yeah, Drowned Catacombs would work. We're an Urborg deck. What about Drowned Catacomb? There's so little blue required to play. Why don't you play Sunken Ruins instead? Yeah, Sunken Ruins could work. So you're suggesting River of Tears? Yeah, but if we played a land this turn, it's black. So the issue with this is good for like reactive plays. And I've seen this in like Blue Tron. That splashes black or runs like Dismember. Yeah, River adds blue unless you play the land, but that's the issue. 3 Verdant, a number of Misties, and a number of Polluted. Okay, Misty will work here. How many Misty? Can't go turn 4 Waiting with Tears, though. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, unfortunately. How many Misties do you have? Gives us another green fetch, because we really want, I think, 3. So, like, maybe, like, 2 Misties. Yeah, but you can float the blue, then play your land, so it'll tap for blue. Yeah, but what if this is the 4th land, though? That's what I'm saying with River. I don't hate rivers, though. We could still run one and test it. Like, I'll test a River of Tears and see if it screws us. I like the card in theory. Oh, it always taps for blue. Awkward. We want it to tap... This taps more for blue than it does for black. We want it to tap mostly for black. That's awkward. I think we'd just be better off with... Don't think the Crucible offers much? No, I don't think it does either. I think we're trying to get there just with the Loams. And again, like I like trimming on things like Loam and Brown Scale if we have ways like, you know, like Commune to turn over cards. And then again, I start liking Angel again. But yeah, Commune could be a really cool engine for this deck. It could let us even slim a Weirding theoretically, and a Loam and a Brown Scale. This is just theory. Don't get all up in arms on me just yet. It lets us find your pet card. So even just 2 Communes is sweet potentially. Lets us turn over Brown Scales and Loams. Lets us find Weirding and Ascension. So like this could be a nice like 1 or 2 of. Or 3 of. I mean, it seems like a really solid card for what this deck's trying to do. You said cut all the Raven's Crimes. I think the deck still needs 2. I think we have plenty of discard spells. Raven Crime with Overkill. Well, it's actually kind of an engine, though, Ophidian. I think you need a 1 of. It's kind of actually an engine card. It's a way that we have ways to guarantee discard. Once you get the Zerlock on and you start dredging back the Brown Scale, I need to be able to put it back into the graveyard, and he won't consistently have Lily. So we do need at least 1 or 2 of this effect in the deck, because we need a way to keep putting the we need to be able to dredge this and then put it back into the graveyard. Dredge it, put it back. Dredge it, put it back. And the nice thing about the Crucible was eventually we hope to hit something like Canopy, and then we can do 2 actions in a turn instead of just 1. But anyway. You see? I know it's confusing. Like, this is a really confusing card. And again, if we're going to 3 Weirdings again, I think like 2 or 3 Communes makes sense to me. But anyway. We need a lot more land. We need to start thinking about which of these lands come in tapped as well. So we have 1 tapped land. 2 tapped lands, like Dakmor's tapped land as well. And I realized Brown Scale was that poor without a discard outlet. It's pretty bad without a discard outlet. Like, we need to be able to put it back into the graveyard. Um, and like we were thinking he'd be on 3 lilies, so for every lily that he's not running, we have to run an extra Raven's Crime in theory. So I thought 2 Raven's Crime was enough, 2 Raven's Crime and a lily. And then of course the brutalities are temporary discard outlets. Makes you really want to do Thopter Depths. We're targeting ourselves with the Raven's Crime. Yeah, in the early stages of the game we can target the opponent. Once we got the lock online, we target ourselves, is the theory, is the idea. Yeah, not always targeting ourselves, but yeah. And again, like, cutting such important cards. I mean, Commune seems really cool for this idea. Hitting Weirding or Ascension, milling over Loams and Brown Scales and Lives and Dark Blast seems really nice. I actually think we're really scared of small critters, though, just due to Bridge. Like, of course, we're scared of Bridge going away, so like cards like, Padim or, Spellskite come to mind, or even like a Welding Jar. But not that we want to go that deep necessarily because of our build, but like the second Dark Blast comes to mind, for me anyway. I don't know if that's the case. I like 1 or 2 of this in the 75. Is there a creature we might want to fetch with Commune? If we have a discard outlet, we could actually put the Brown Scale in our hand. If we have a discard outlet already, we could let this go to hand. If we don't hit a Weirding or the Commune. It makes the sideboard Sleeper and Padim better. Not that that's a thing. Although these are again pet cards and win cons that Kyrie wanted to play. I'm not saying they're necessarily what I would do, but I respect our viewer that we're brewing the deck for. Aren't you afraid of Lingering and Affinity? Shouldn't you run Night of Souls Betrayal? Night of Souls Betrayal is super sweet. I like it. We were running Flayed Tendrils because he didn't have ley lines. So it's kind of a bit more of a catch-all, I think, but maybe not. Pyromancer decks. Oh yeah, we're definitely afraid of those. Then again, Dark Blast is really sweet in those situations too. Where again, we could arguably just run another one. Maybe an extra Fatal Push, or that should just be another Abrupt Decay spot. I didn't hate the main board Pulse either. What are my thoughts on Liliana's Caress? Honestly, I struggle with any Smallpox in this list. Really? You don't like it at all? That's true. We're not... I mean, I love Smallpox because it's just so universal. It's a lot of Commune. Let's run 3. It's a bit do nothing. It's a good way to find our different engines and piece it all together. Like Commune is potentially a good way to piece this part of the deck together. Like this part with this part with this part with any of the utility lands. Or sorry, it finds these as well. Yeah, like we have this much synergy for Commune of the Gods with the Gods. On first glance, we have about 13 cards that utilize it. So I think 3 is a good number. Maybe just 2 Commune and 4 Weirding still. Well, because it's our build-around card. Yeah, I'm down. I mean, it's the more important prison and puzzle piece to hit than Bridge for sure. Jace makes Blue Moon, Blue Eye too strong. Bloodbraid Elf finds a way into a Collected Company deck. Hey, what's up, Amber? I still say run Caress instead of Smallpox. Caress likes the Commune, so Liliana's Caress. I mean, again, I'm not so sure we want to try so hard to... Yeah, that's true. If we're going to run the Ascensions, we should run like a 1 or 2 of Caress. Yeah. That adds to this. And then it's 15 cards we're hitting with Commune. So, I like it. Caress punishes the graveyard looting decks, turns on Ascension, can deal 6 with Loam and Raven Crime. Okay. I like at least the first Caress, if not the second one. I mean, they do stack, so you can make the argument that you run the 2 of, especially since we're going to be discarding. So. Why don't you use Megrim? It hits walkers. We could do a split. I mean, again, if we're just like trying to, hit opposing walkers with freaking Megrims, then I'm not as interested in the main board Sorcerer's Spyglass, potentially. Megrim would be better. Yeah, if we're more controlling deck, Megrim is probably where we need to be. even though it's 1 more mana, the fact that it can hit planeswalkers. I think we should run 2 to 3 swamps. Alright, let's get the second swamp back in there. Or for the first time, I should say. Do we need the second Urborg now that we're not running smallpoxes? Probably not. The first one's probably more than enough now, right? I think McGrim's strictly better. Yeah, I mean, we can hit planeswalkers with it. So I don't know if we need something like Spyglass anymore in the main. If we now have a way to... And, like, Pulse can hit walkers, too. I mean, I'm trying to brew this without, like, reference to other, like, prison decks I played. I'm trying to brew it without reference to something like Lantern. McGrim does cost 3, so yeah, the split might still be better. The split might still be better, yeah, because it does cost 3 mana. McGrim's not strictly better, it's just, it might be nice to have the split specifically when thinking about planeswalkers. We're going to see a lot more of them. Yeah, we could do a split. Better against, you know, D-Sphere. That's very, very corner case. Nice Soul's Betrayal. Seems better now. With all the communes. Alright. Yeah, we don't have creatures of our own that we're really utilizing, except for like a sideboard sleeper agent. Yeah, I like Knight of Soul's Betrayal over the sideboard Dark Blast. I like the mainboard Dark Blast, though, because we can turn it over. Yeah, Knight of Souls. I like Knight of Soul's Betrayal now, for sure. Yeah, with communes, for sure. We're only on 2, but yeah. I like the idea of this card in the sideboard Dark Blast spot. It seems really good in the metagame. It's another thing to bring in against opposing dredge strategies. Just got inspired to brew Ogre Tribal. What? What you doing in my swamp? What are you talking about, Amber? God, it's almost 6 in the morning, so we got to get this done, and I got to get upstairs and sleeping. This is a problem. This is a problem stream. It's a good problem to have that I have viewers here and we're doing this thing, but like I need to consider sleep. Oh, this is basically part of the mana base. We're not casting these. It's a 0 mana play. We're not planning on casting it. I'm okay with no spell bombs. Okay, let's run a spell bomb then. Let's mainboard it. I think Dredge is going to be a nightmare for us, so spell bomb and then cut the Tor mods, run another spell bomb. So how about 2 spell bombs? Knight of Soul's Betrayal can let us cast Brown Scale, kill it, so we don't need a discard. This guy has 3 toughness. How does that work? What? Sleep is for the weak and sleep for a week. Yeah, no, Brown Scale's too big. No, you're fine, Viper. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. Wow, we're actually running more basics? Crazy. This is good. This is good. Just to make me happy, I'd love to have the Miser's Smallpox even still, even though we don't really necessarily support them very well. Like, if I had it my way, just real quick, this I know this isn't going to fly with you, Ophidian. If I had it my way, we'd still have the Misers or the 2 of. Even still. Even still. But again, I guess that does anti-synergize with weirding. That's true. Yeah, I keep thinking I want this to be a Smallpox deck, but it doesn't have like flagstones. I just talked myself back out of it. There should be a repeal or an Echoing Truth in the board. Okay. Another reason to be in blue? Sure. It's like Echoing Truth. What am I Echoing Truthing? That I can't Maelstrom Pulse though. Guess you don't have any great options against Burn. I mean, there are things we can do. We could run... I mean, Brutality is really good in that matchup. I don't think we're all that bad against Burn as you might think. Like, between Inquisition, like, tear their hand apart and kill their dude. I don't think we're that bad. I don't mind having a couple cards. I mean, like, Quiet Disrepair is something we can bring in against Burn. That's 2 life every turn. Golgari Brown Scales, 2 life every turn. I mean, there are ways... I don't think it's actually as bad as you might perceive. Oh, I didn't mean to cut your Sleeper Agent. Actually, do we need double Sleeper Agent? It's something to hit on Commune. Can we just run the Bullet Creatures with Commune of the Gods? I know it's your pet card, but like... I still prefer Like, I still prefer turning on your Ascension with the Migrim or the Caress versus... I think it's fine as a bit, and it's something to hit off of Commune post-board in addition to, like, the Padim and Knight and, you know, Quiet Disrepairs are both hit on Commune. I really think the deck wants a third one because we just cut a loam. I think this deck wants to be built around this card. Not that we play a playset. Maybe the extra Caress should be sideboard. Oh, Weirding is a hilarious card. I mean, we're trying to brew a Weirding deck. I think with the third Commune, like, some of these creatures and enchantments can start to become more, like, bullet-like. Why don't you put the Caress in the sideboard? Yeah, Migrim's arguably more main deckable. That's true. Yeah, Migrim is technically more main deckable. I mean, we're really bad against Leyline of Sanctity, right? So, like, what are we really bad against? We're bad against opposing Graveyard Hate, and we're bad against Leyline of Sanctity. So, you know, having, I mean, like, these answer Leyline of Sanctity. This answers Leyline of Sanctity. Do we want, like, one more answer for Leyline? I mean, that's, I guess, where the Echoing Truth idea came from. It's like, how many answers do we have to that? Like, how many answers do we have to break out of... I mean, that's kind of why I wanted a Pithing Needle effect, because a lot of Graveyard Hate is needleable in Modern, or Spyglassable. So, like, ways to beat Leyline. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it? That's not many. We might want a fifth way to beat Leyline, or just other things in general. Sir's Weirding doesn't care about Leyline, says Kyrie. Oh, we don't? Well, we do care that all our, like, hand hate and everything's turned off, though, don't we? Migrim is target, whereas Liliana is each. No, whenever an opponent discards that player. So this is not target, whereas Migrim is target. Oh, no, it says to that player. Oh, interesting. Neither of these care. Well, I guess we don't care about it as much as I thought. Okay. If they open the game with Leyline, that sucks. It is bad for all our hand hate, and that's kind of our major axis of interaction. But it seems like we still have ways to technically still win the game. Yeah. I think Blood Chief doesn't either. Does it say each? You may have that player lose. So it says that. Yeah, they say that. I still think this is more sideboard, though, right? Maybe not. It's tough to say. I like Migrim's flexibility over Caress. I mean, again, even still, like, maybe that's... I mean, this... Okay, is this card do nothing? Yeah, a bit. But, I mean, we're a prison deck, so we're going to have some cards that are in some situations do nothing, hence why I like selection. In a vacuum, I like Migrim a little bit more, just due to, well, duh, the art and the flavor, but also the fact that it can hit opposing planeswalkers. It should be 2 Caresses, 1 main, 1 side. Okay. You think so? Well, no, let's diversify. No, let's diversify our threats post-board. Thanks for the follow. Miracle 1994. Welcome to the Brews by the Magic Guy show. We should diversify our threats, keep them diversified. I know we have a sideboard Ashiok, a sideboard. Well, this will just be a, you know, whatever planeswalker you get your hands on that you're into. So we have like 1, 2, 3 sideboard win conditions. Again, like with a slow prison deck like this, like you might just want one of our last 2 sideboard slots to be an alternative win con besides one that is a little weak against Leyline. I mean, again, like the knock to both Caress and Migrim, although they're good ways to potentially turn on Ascension in addition to like brutalities, the knock to these is once we have Weirdinged, because it says Graveyard, Caress doesn't say goes directly to Graveyard. Caress and Migrim say when they discard. So like neither of these are triggering in this state, whereas Ascension still does. Only Blogles plays Leyline main board. I think Leyline needs more answers. Most decks don't run it. Okay. Well, let's build our last 6 spots then in reference to anti-grave hate. So somebody said if we want more elements for, and they don't have to be main board. I'm just saying I think our last 2 sideboard cards need to be in reference to stopping opposing graveyard hate. So do we want like needle effects? A lot of the things that screw us over are needleable or spyglassable. I mean, again, when you play prison decks, I love things like needle or even spyglass, just because you know there's you're like, okay, my opponent only has so many outs. Can I name one of those outs on one of these elements? You know, because opponents will still technically. I mean, again, like weirding is really interesting because we're a prison deck that doesn't really. We just kind of need to answer what's already in their hand or what's already on the table. It's a little bit different as long as we have our life gain engines going. It's a little bit different in reference to other prison decks like Lantern or less known prison decks like oh god, what is it? It's another blue enchantment. It's shared knowledge, shared I can't think of it. We were just brewing it the other day. It's a 5 mana enchantment though. I know you brew a lot. Every time I tune in, I don't see you playing. How often do you say you play? Alex, usually at this part of the night, I'm like really burned out and not able to play to the best of my ability. You're watching me at 6 a.m. Eastern time. I don't typically play at the later stages of the stream because I've just lost. I have enough energy, I guess, to talk and to brew, but I don't have as much energy to actually play. And if I played, I wouldn't be playing to the best of my ability. It's the same reason why, you know, if you listen to some of the pros, like they'll say, you know, always try to get a good night's sleeping if you can't before a tournament. You know, it's the same principle here. Like I won't play good Magic, and I don't really want to stream if I know I won't play good Magic. Third Fatal Push seems important. Yeah, I think another push would be good. There you go. And then probably 2 more lands. Should probably be a 2021 land deck, even with the Loams and the Communes, right? Actually, Commune can't hit land, can it? Yeah, it can't. It's creature or enchantment. So, ooh. Totally fair. I'm sorry, Alex Jet. I do think about that. Like, the viewers that come in later my stream, like, tend to see the brewing side of me, and then the viewers that get here early and get here at the beginning of my stream tend to see, like, me, like, jam more games. So, that is something I think about. What about Grizzly Salvage? It doesn't really work for us. Well, Grizzly Salvage is okay. Maybe we shouldn't be running this much Commune, even though I think it's a sweet build-around for us. I mean, our true build-around is Zur's wording. This just gives us more opportunities to hit that and some of these other bits. And there's me who comes for the banter and stays for the brews. Salvage is only land and creatures. Okay. Well, we're not operating instant. This is a tap out prison control. We're not operating instant speed. Very, very little instant speed. Can we get some more lands in this thing? We added the 2 Misties you said you had, Kyrie. We didn't fix you into more. Like how many shoot, did I never add them? Oh my god. Somebody even told me the name of the card. Blossoming It's the black-green one. It's not Blossom, though. I don't think it's Blossoming. Wall of Blossoms. Oh, God. What is the name of the card? Ugh. What is it called? I'm thinking. Just came out relatively recently. Black-green dual land. Come on. You can do this. What is it called? I've like you can't see this because we don't have the camera right now working, but I've like closed my eyes and I'm just trying to see if my brain can just think of it. It's too early in the morning. I can't do it. Oh, Blooming? You'd rather just play 4 bridges? Yeah, we could just play the 4th bridge. He said he owns 4 bridges. Thank you, guys. So you said you had 2 Blooming Marshes. Let's do that, and then now your mana base seems relatively happy. Okay, so, yeah, Ensnaring Bridge, number 4. Spell sites could protect weirding as well. I mean, I don't hate Spell Skite in a vacuum. They're also useful to bring in against burn. Like, that could be your 2 last sideboard cards. We're just looking for more protection, but faster protection than the Padim. But Padim is hit off Commune. There you go, that's a 61. We cut something or move it to the board, cut something else. I mean, again, Spyglass main board's a little aggressive, right? Isn't it? It is a little aggressive. It's more of a sideboard card. Maybe Spyglass is still better than Needle. Even so, even you know, mana cost beside, if we want like this element in our deck. Spyglass might still be sweeter than the Needle, because we're going long. And probably one of this element. Yeah, I like the Spell Guide idea. Let's run it, and we'll cut all this and call it a deck. Ascensions that are turned on are probably worth protecting. Having only one blue source bothers you. Yeah, me too. I don't know what the second blue source would be. Trade the Urborg, the other Urborg. Trade the other Urborg. I already cut the other Urborg. We don't need the first Urborg anymore. Look at our mana base. We're no longer black except for 3 cards. 1, 2, 3 cards. You're only black for, 3 cards. You don't need Urborg anymore. Probably. And like a lot of your utility lands, like the Dredge land and the Bog, are already black. Like you've got 1, 2, like you got a lot of black mana already. So just run the River of Tears. I mean, we could test it. I think it's objectively not what we want to be doing, because like if it's the last land that gets us to Weirding, we'll feel so bad, or even Padim, or some of these like 4 mana. I don't like this in respect to like, neither do I like Darkslick Shores, because like if we're trying to do like a 4 mana blue plays and we're like, oh, we just need one more land, and we top this, we're like, no. Just one watery grave ain't bad. What about an island or another watery grave? What about a drowned catacomb? Yeah, probably drowned catacomb. I like a drowned catacomb. We do have 4 mana plays. I do like that style of dual land in reference to 4 mana plays, and the 4 mana plays we're playing are both blue or black. This makes perfect sense for our mana base. Only lands it doesn't have synergy for are what? We need to be careful with it though. It doesn't have synergy here. How many lands does it not work with? I think is the question if you're considering a land like that. It's good that we're at the stage that we're like just looking at our mana base now. So that means I can go to bed soon. Not that that's, I mean, I love streaming for you guys. It's just, we went really late. So 2 green, 3 green. Okay, hold up. Blue source. All right, so what synergizes with this is what we're looking at. These do, those don't. These can get lands that synergize with it. So, I mean, Drowned Catacomb might not be happy in this shell because he has only 11 buddies. Sunken Ruins could work. Probably better. Don't you want your blue to be fetchable, though? Well, we only need 1 blue fetchable. It doesn't. They both don't need to be fetchable. Are you saying in respect to opponents like Ghost Quartering or Field of Ruining us? Yeah, I mean, we could run 2 blue fetchables. I don't know if this deck would want a Breeding Pool. You could run a Breeding Pool. You want fetchable blue. Breeding Pool would pair really nicely with the swamps that we're running. And the, yeah, like Pool would fix us into all 3 of your colors in respect to if we had like specifically, just not that I'm putting this in, I'm just saying, like in respect to what part of your mana base. It pairs nicely here. It pairs nicely here as well. Like basically any black or colorless source is going to pair nicely along as a fetch target. So this is probably still correct, even though I didn't want to run the Breeding Pool earlier when we were running like trying to run bad cards like Smallpox. Smallpox isn't a bad card. I'm just saying, you know, it's greedy in this shell. I do agree with Ophidian. Maybe Grave is important. Yeah, but then we have a lot of lands that won't let us cast Turn 1 discard. That's true. Like Canopy's greedy for that. Like what lands don't let us cast our Hand Hate, right? Quite a few now. And Dakmor and Bajuka are also in that pile. So like, you know, only how many lands will let us do it? 13. Only 13 of our lands are letting us Turn 1 push or blast or Inquisition, or, you know, we have a lot of Turn 1 Hand Hate. It's very essential. So we might want to slim on something. Yeah, Turn 1 black is important indeed. The Academy Ruins. Yeah, I mean, we can run a different way to not deck ourselves. I like it being in the mana base. I like this even more, not necessarily to recur artifacts, but just more in reference to we don't deck ourselves as we dredge through whilst we've established the lock. Nah, cut Ruins. Cut Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter we can at least quarter elves if we're desperate for black. So we could even put this in the pile, though that's really corner case. This is turn 2 black. Like, I would say Ghost Quarter and Dark, more, like, these are turn 2 black mana, at least. Ruins and Spellbomb is nice, though. We could cut the Canopy. That's true. Between, like, Ruins and Spellbomb now, we have a way to turn... We have a way to turn this into an extra cantrip. I don't think we need the Canopy. I think we could cut the Canopy and run another Black Source. Or we could turn the Breeding Pool into a Watery Grave. What about Bow of Nylea? Can both gain life and prevent decking. We've talked about this card before in a different brew. It's a little adorable, but, I mean, the whole deck idea is potentially adorable. This is cool, though. Yeah, so there's a lot of different modes on this thing. So we can, we don't care about the 1/1 counter, although I guess we could grow their creatures so they can't attack through bridge. Anyway, 2 damage to a creature with flying. Okay. So the modes on this you're saying are useful. We also lose out on the attacking creatures of Death Touch, by the way. So hold up. So the only modes on this we'd actually use are you gain 3 life and put up to 4 cards from your yard on the bottom. I don't think that's enough, but it's a thought. Growing enemy creatures is cute. I think Tron seems unwinnable without the Ghost Quarters and Crucibles. You'd be surprised, like us tearing their hand apart might be decent. Is it unwinnable? Lantern can beat Tron. Yeah, we could squeeze in a second Ghost Quarter if you want to make it a little bit better. Or just like Manlands too. I think Tron's still a fine matchup. Ghost Quarter doesn't do much to help. I mean, what are our bullet lands, right? The bullet lands we want to be running, or this is just another dredger, so it's more or less in this category. But, like, how many dredgers are we on now? Dark Blast, Brown Scales, Loams. We're not on that many dredgers, which makes me a little concerned, but we have ways to turn them over and start doing our thing. Yeah, we don't have that many dredgers now, just 6. Dredge spells, I mean. Only 6. I'm good, T-Fate. A little tired, though. Keeping the Ghost Quarter is important. Yeah, we should still run one. We should still run one. Don't think going up on colorless would be a good idea. Yeah, we're moving 3 colors, so more lands of this category are probably a bad idea. That's already like probably the maximum we could be doing. Probably another land for this pile. Another Black Source. Probably needs to be, instead of, sorry, Breeding Pool shouldn't be in this pile. We should probably turn the Breeding Pool into the second Watery Grave. You are still a mod. Alright, Watery Grave number 2. If we really do want a second fetchable Black Source. Blue Black Source, excuse me. Probably should just be the second Watery. I mean, River of Tears, Dark Slick, these are all like wonderful things. That could be like the last card. Could be like a Dark Slick or River of Tears or when are we going to start playing? I'm too tired. It's 6:20 my time, Olsen. Sorry, friend. We did play a lot of Magic earlier. I'm pretty exhausted. All right, cut the Buried Ruin, cut the Breeding Pool, cut the Ghost Quarter, add a Watery Grave, add a Swamp, add an Urborg. I agree with some of your choices. I agree with cutting the Breeding Pool. I don't necessarily agree, Ophidian, with cutting the Ghost Quarter and cutting the Buried Ruin. I like that Buried Ruin gets us the bridge back immediately, whereas Ruins we have to wait, which is dangerous. It's a little scary. I hear you. We could cut the Buried Ruin. The Academy Ruins is pulling double duty. This is making it so we don't deck and we can still win the game, because we will turn over our whole deck, ideally, after we do the lock. Let me curve it real quick. I hear what you're saying. I do. I don't disregard what you're saying. Just think about it from my perspective. I think that the Academy Ruin still does double duty. So yeah, we could cut the Buried Ruin. I could see that. What about a Rainbow Land? Alright, so the only colorless utility lands we're going to continue to run are Quarter and Ruins. Alright, so we'll cut the Buried Ruin. I think it's... I'll miss it, but... So we're on 2 Wateries now, and then we want 2 lands that reduce pain. So ideally, this is where we would add Watery Graves. I think I'll add, just for everybody's interest, I'll add the... I think this is so wrong, but I'll add the river. Or we could do a filter land. I think this is really... I'll test one. A river. Cry me a river. I just worry that like we'll want this to be tapping for black most of the time, and it only taps for black when we play another land. So we could test a fun of and see if we don't hate it. If you aren't adding swamps and Urborgs, at least worthwhile. Urborg makes the Liliana, the Siphon Life, and the Raven's Crime play a little bit better. So you still like the Singleton Urborg? Okay, okay, I'll do it. What on earth are we brewing? I had a viewer donate, and we're trying to brew him Zer's Weirding. Okay, so Urborg back in the list. All right, okay. I can take a hint. Okay. What about this? And we didn't even cut all the pet cards. We kept in a Walker sideboard plan. So sideboard win conditions are these three. And then Skite is protection. I mean, Padim and Spellskite are kind of the same breed. I would say Sleeper and Ashiok are more so the actual factual sideboard, some of the sideboard win plans. Small creature control. More graveyard hate. We need more graveyard hate than just this, right? We got a Bajuka, a Spellbomb main, and then another Spellbomb. I think we need one more of that, actually. We could cut the sideboard Abrupt Decay or the sideboard Maelstrom Pulse, and run one more card in this slot. I think we need one more card in this slot. Can we please, for the love of magic, get like one more sideboard? I think this pile needs to be one more, and we could probably cut a card from here. I like that Quiet Disrepair does double duty, even though it's a little bit slow to remove stuff. I like that this is gain 2 life against burn, and it turns on the Weirding, because the 2 life or more turn is the secret spot. It is kind of the sweet spot. Gets you 2 of those. 2 what? No ley lines? Oh, it should be Leyline of the Void. He said he doesn't have them. And that's okay. Like I will brew in reference to what the person whom I'm brewing for has access to. That's definitely something I'm about. So. Meanwhile, I'm looking at Frostwalker. 4/1 that will die to anything that it targets. Interesting, Seraph. Oh, you're looking at it just straight up like aggro, blue-white aggro, not like tempo? I thought a lot of the cards you told us you had were more like tempo cards, though. Alright, hold up. Yeah, so I think we cut one of these, and then we add to this pile. And I don't know what card it would be. I mean, Cage hurts us too, but like I think that that's okay. This doing double duty against Coco and Dredge, other graveyard-based decks is nice. Whereas like most of our stuff still works. We can still loam. We can still dredge. We just can't siphon or Raven's Crime. Why don't you play Jotun Grunts? You could play Thought Scour and Jotun Grunts. No, that's probably bad. I like Jotun Grunts though. I'm actually going to cut the pulse. Let's stick with the decay. And then can you guys come up with one more? We've got a main board Spellbomb and a Cage. It's another like flex. I know the Tendrils is also sort of pseudo graveyard hate. That was on purpose. But I think we need one more for this part. Perhaps. Do you think a Poxlick could be good? Absolutely, Swampter Man. Absolutely. It'd probably be Black-White Pox. Actually, Black-White Pox has been doing decently. On Moto, there's a list you can find, for example, on MTG Goldfish that plays Flagstones, Urborg, and Smallpox. We have Bog 2, seems like enough. Okay, well then I'll put the Maelstrom Pulse back in. I gotta go to bed, guys. It's 6:27. I needed to be asleep like 3 hours ago, so I'm starting to get that, like, you never get that black spot in your vision because you know you've been like looking at a computer screen for too long. Yeah, that's true. We have Bog 2. I forgot. We have 2 main board Artifact Hate. Or Graveyard Hate. I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to give it to Kyrie. Good luck with it, Kyrie. Maybe I'll play it Thursday if we have time. I'd have to get the cards ahead of time, though, because I think it'd take a long time to get into all this. This is definitely my style of prison, though. Definitely cool. You get to name it, though. I'm totally fine with that, because, I mean, it's your thing. It's your baby. I'll let this be your baby, friend. Yeah, third Fatal Push felt correct. Could even mainboard that Abrupt Decay, by the way. Over the Caress, perhaps, or the yeah, could even mainboard this Decay. Not sure. I still think I like the idea of like cutting one weirding and adding the fourth commune. Like, that's probably what I would do in a vacuum. I would do that. I know this is our build around. I know this is like really important to the deck, but I feel like we could just like filter to it. You know? You like the Decay main? I know there's people in the chat that are going to be like, no, it's your build around. You need this. What does your deck do without it? It's like, I know, but like, why don't we just like filter into it instead of like having a freaking fat playset? You know, people don't run a playset of Jace necessarily. Bloodbraid's different though. Bloodbraid is like 3 to 4 of. Decay over Caress? Yeah, I think the Caress could be sideboard because Mergrim is more flexible. And then that gives us room for either the fourth commune or maybe another removal spell. Or because again, like we're not like, you know, I know I keep referencing Lantern. This is just a different take on Prison, first of all. But second of all, I get it. This is our ultimatum, right? This is where we're going. But do we need the playset? Or could we just like filter into it? I play for Jace. Kind of just want to turn over the Loams and the Brown Scales more often. The fourth commune would do that. I mean, we'll flip over Lily and bye-bye Lily, but, you know, she's basically just trying to act as the third Raven's Crime effect anyway. All right, what about 4 commune, 3 weirding? All right, yeah. I know it's our build around. It is heavy, though. I missed Wise Megrim better. It's worse in casting cost. But it's better because it hits walkers, and we're anticipating a lot of planeswalkers. Since you need to fill the R for the weirding engine anyway? Yeah. Because we don't want to like get locked out and then we can't find the brown scale. That would be terrible if we're like, well, we could weirding, but we, well, the nice thing is it says if a player does put that card into the owner's graveyard, which is actually really solid. Oh, that's dirty. I didn't even think about that part of weirding. What? Yeah, it says if a player does put it into the graveyard. Oh my gosh, if our top card is like a Loam or a Brown Scale, it doesn't even matter. God, that's really sick synergy. This is super cool together. This is super cool. I love this list. This is really becoming more and more something I would consider playing. Kyrie. Did you go to bed, Kyrie? They probably went to sleep. They probably fell asleep. I feel so bad. I was trying to brew him a deck. It's my own fault. That's super cool. That's synergy. You're still here? That's synergy. How did I not even realize that? Like, you can turn over, like, wait, how many cards could we turn over and that's super sick? We're still, like, getting to see the important part of our deck. It's midday for you? We're still getting to see, like, so many cards in reference to weirding. That's insane. Like, we still have so many live draws, even if our opponents are trying to deny us cards. That's stupid. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're totally breaking parity on this card. I didn't even realize. How many other hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, Dakmore salvage, maybe? 9? That's cool. That's really, really cool. I didn't even realize that till just now. That's stupid. I mean, I'm not saying this deck is like so, you know, that anybody else besides us and Kyrie is going to play this thing, but that's really cool synergy. Don't forget you can just Zerz yourself. Does that work? If a player would draw, he or she reveals that. No, it says any other player may pay. It says then any other player. I don't think that works exactly, right? You can pay 2 life to stick your own card in your graveyard. I don't think it works that way, Kyrie. Yeah, it says other. But that's okay. That's still really cool synergy. The fact that even if they pay the life, we still, like, have live draws makes me want to have more like dredge cards, for example. But anyway, that's dumb. That's really cool. Yeah, dredge just totally. This card was printed before dredge, though. Sir's Weirding. This card did exist way before the dredge mechanic was printed, so they probably didn't think that through. And here I am sitting, we're sitting here, we're like, oh, well, BrewSpy thinks his deck's good, just dies to graveyard hate. It's like, well, every deck's going to have something bad. I'm just trying to brew a deck for, a viewer that kind of does cool things, and yeah, it's a different take on Prison. I think a lot of Prison decks are going to be bridge decks. I mean, like we saw Kyrie, the deck, the direction we tried to take your deck at very first was like, what was it? We were doing like an enchantment build. Like, not like Sir's Weirding, it was like actually, like idyllic, not idyllic tutor, God, it was like, enchantment devotion with like mainboard ley lines. Yeah, Ice Age. Yeah, it's existed a long time. Ooh, Kyrie, I need you to pick the last card for the sideboard because I think we're maybe cutting the Lilianas. I think we have enough synergy to turn on your Ascensions. I do. Call me crazy, but like, let's see. How many ways do we have to turn these on? One. These would give it at least one quest counter. But Siphon Life is the major one. Is that it? No way. Is that really it? Wish we had more. Not that I would run a second Siphon. I'm just saying I wish. Oh, Megrim, duh. 6. Megrim and Zers. Oh, well, yeah, Zers does it too. Zer also does it itself. Yeah, that's true. We have like 9. Okay, I think that's enough. Yeah. Hey, we kept your pet card in, man. We did it. We did it. Despite every opportunity I tried to cut it, we did it. I think I just want to main deck Spyglass. You want to main deck the Spyglass? Okay. We're pretty weak to walkers. Yeah. That's true. I mean, that's the same reason why we chose Megrim main board over Caress, perhaps. So you want a main board Spyglass? I dig it. It's main deckable. Could sideboard the Dark Blast, although I don't really want to do that. Could sideboard. We could cut a Commune. We don't have to run the playset. It might be too much. I understand that, like, the reason that we cut a Weirding is because I added the 4th one of this, but... I mean, with the Communes, you'll also see your pet card more often, so that'll make you happy. Right? Kyrie? You'll see your pet card more often? Like, what does Commune find now with the current build? It mills over, let's see, Loams. It'll find these. It'll mill over this. It'll mill over the Dark Blast, the Ravens. It'll mill over Brown Scales. If we have Loam already, it'll hit any land in the deck, of course. It hits these. That's nice. That's not bad. So Commune hits these 14 right now, it seems. For Commune's going to be pretty important. I think Dank Blast is our weakest card now. It could be in the board. Could be in the board. Dank Blast is our weakest card. Okay, it could be in the board. That's a 60. And then we have room for a card of Kyrie's choice. Do we want to diversify board wipes? What about Meddling Mage? Oh yeah, we're worried about Mage naming Bridge. That's fair. I think we have a lot of different ways to kill Mage, though. Let's count them up. Hold up. That's a good question. 5, 8, 9. Although that's not a good answer. It's a little slow. Like 9 ways to kill Mage if they name Bridge. It's okay. Could also just like Thoughtseize or Inquisition Mage. We have a lot of removal for Mage. I think we'll be okay against Mage. We really can't compare this at all anymore, really, to Lantern, can we? This really is a different beast, and that's good or bad. Different bad matchups, I imagine different good matchups, It's still Prison. It's still potentially, I wouldn't say a good option. I'll say it's viable. I'll give it the stamp of viable. Not necessarily good. I'll give it the stamp of viable. All right, and these are tap lands, so we can put these here. I mean, we have a lot of things going on turn 1. We have a few tap lands we might be playing. We might be playing a push or an Inquisition or a bomb or, various hand. I mean, our turn 1 is mostly going to be hand hate, removal, or playing a combo piece or graveyard hate. What about Thrika's Cure? Maybe keep the Caress. Freakish Cure is interesting. Like as like a 5th pseudo brutality effect, kill something, gain life. How do the mirror games go? How do the devastating summons? We actually cut it, I think. Maybe? No, wait, maybe it's still in there. Something's wrong. Where's Jace? Where's Bloodbraid? Alright, I see the sun coming out, so please pick a card. I'm going to bed. I need to find. I'm going to go ahead and start looking for another somebody to host. What do you think should be the last card? I think that's the easy way out. There's got to be something spicier, right? There's got to be something spicier to put in that spot. I love the Dark Blast though, in addition to the Night of Souls Betrayal. There's got to be a spicier something, right? There Emang's playing Tron. Biz is doing Modern Affinity. Thanks for the follow, Igor. I'm going to see if there's anything interesting going on besides those two. This guy playing Mono Bluetron. That might be fun. Let me check out his stream real quick. Run a single Marlin. Alright. Marlin gets so much better once they no longer have their creature removal in. Oh, he's playing against Kiki Court? Yeah, I'm going to host this guy. This looks like an interesting match. Yeah, I'm going to host this guy. Thanks so much for coming to the Brews by the Magic Guy show. Please stay for the host. I do like to support other small streams like myself when I can. His name is Diazepam. All right, so Marlin. Yeah, Marlin gets a lot better in our commune deck. We can search for it, and yeah, it's sweet. So we have some sideboard win cons. Seems fun. All right, there you go. Zer's Weirding. Alright, thanks for the brew. Hope to see it played. Oh yeah, Kyrie. That's a lot of bits. Thank you so much again. Jeez. Wow. Alright, I'm going to host this guy. Thank you so much for sticking around for the host. Do like I said, to help out other streamers. Thank you so much for the bits, and Colorosi as well for the follow. Welcome to the Brews by the Magic Guy show. Thanks for hitting that button. Hope to see you guys Thursday. And I'll see you.